Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
The Lifestyle Show.
Selina MacKenzie.
Our brains are incredibly adept at repair.
The Me Nobody Sees.
We create our own realities.
A deep insight into mental health.
This is the Me Nobody Sees with me, Selina MacKenzie. We'll be with you for the next hour. This is our mental health awareness programme. I think it's a difficult time of year for many people. So please join in if you want to. You can join in the conversation or you can ask our experts any questions. There are 3 ways to get in touch. You can call on 952 78 4000. You can WhatsApp 645 99 67 95 or you can email studio@tre.radio.
The Me Nobody Sees. A deep insight into mental health.
And joining us on today's panel is Councillor Deb Jones. Hello. Oh, that was a bit of a sing-song. We have Michelle Mack.
Good afternoon.
And we have the gorgeous Marisetta Martins, who is self-development coach.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And a very beautiful one too, let me tell you. Welcome to you all. It is our last The Me Nobody Sees for the year. Not for good, only for the year. So we were thinking of concentrating on SAD syndrome, seasonal affective disorder, but also things we did touch on last month that Christmas can be challenging for some people. It can be lonely. And there's the January blues because you've had all the hype for Christmas and everything that goes along with it. So we're going to leave it open. If anyone wants to talk about anything in particular, you feel free to do so. Contact us. I just want to read out a couple of emails that I have received already, which are lovely and makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. From Eileen in Cartagena, she said, I know this is probably the last The Me Nobody Sees for this year, so I just wanted to thank you ladies for an excellent programme. I have learned so much and at times felt less alone with my own issues. Here's more in 2025. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. We like that. And then Dave in Los Felices, I don't know if they're together, whether they know each other. They just both came through together. Dave in Los Felices said, please thank Deb and Michelle for keeping us all sane this past year. Keep up the good work. Give yourself got a fan. Absolutely. That's lovely to hear, isn't it? It's lovely to hear. So I often think about Christmas and I try not to play Christmas songs too early, because people can get drowned out by Christmas songs. Some people, some of my colleagues will play them like from the 1st of December, that's it. And I think to myself, it's not fair, because whilst I love Christmas, and a lot of people love Christmas, some people hate it.
I've got to start you on this one. Just so you all know, listeners, I have my younger daughter in the studio with us today.
Hi, Leah. Hi.
I'm not a Grinch, but I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. And last night, I'd finished watching, this is going to sound really bad, I'd finished watching Match of the Day, and automatically after, I hadn't switched the telly off, and this Christmas movie started, and there was all the music and all the jingly bells and all the everything else, and I thought, oh God, please get me away from this. It's not even, we're not even a week away from Christmas. We're only just at the beginning of December. And I thought, how on earth did I manage to breed 2 children who are absolute Christmas obsessives?
Maybe they take after the father.
100%.
100%. So have you always been like that, Michelle?
No. And that's the weird thing. I really wasn't as a child. It is solely since I became a parent.
So it's your fault, Leah.
No, I think it was about the fact that Christmas was always great for me growing up, and I loved it as a child. We always spent it down with my grandparents and all the family together, and it was always a jolly time. But I knew, I don't know, I suppose I wanted to make the Christmas really special once I had children. I'd grown up in a house where we never had Christmas decorations or Christmas trees for various reasons. And so those things were really important to me. But I sort of was a bit OCD about the tree and wouldn't let the kids go near it until they were old enough. Now I'm not allowed near it.
Excellent.
So I think then once you become a parent and you've got all the stuff to do for Christmas, so you've got the shopping, the presents, the cooking, the decorating, the wrapping, it becomes a chore.
Stressful.
And very, very stressful. And you want it to be perfect for everybody. And you wind up often killing yourself to make it that way. And it's taken me an awful lot of years to get to the point where I go, you know what? You will do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. I'm not killing myself for it anymore. I still love it, but it's not the be-all and end-all for me.
And I think, if you don't mind me saying, this will be a tough one because it's a first for you, isn't it?
Yeah, this Christmas, normally we have a house full, as you know. We usually entertain a lot of people at Christmas, but because I lost my mum in the summer, I decided I didn't want to have a house full this Christmas. So it's just the family, so that if I have a breakdown at any point, I'm not going to feel completely...
Bless you.
But I'm actually in a really good place for it.
Good for you.
And I'm very happy just to have my family around and have a nice, quiet Christmas.
I think I hope you don't mind me mentioning it, but I think it's important because there'll be a lot of people, won't there, Deb, that will be having their first. It's either their first without a parent, first after a divorce, first without a friend. It can be really, really tough for people.
For me, I have a first as well, as this is the first time in 29 years that I haven't spent it with my children. So they're doing their own thing and they're growing up, and so I won't see them. I won't see them at all. So.
Empty nest.
Pardon?
Empty nest.
Empty nest. Yeah. What about you, Marisetta? What do you normally do?
I have 2 children, but both of my children live abroad. My son lives in Brazil and my daughter lives in America. And for us, as being in my family, we never did, when I was a child, Christmas or all the rituals. But when I had my kids, I became a very, very big Christmas party mother. So I used to bring Santa Claus to the house, and we had everything. But then we moved to Miami, and we were just the 3 of us, and I start saying to them, look, Christmas is a state of mind. It's about intimacy. It's about family. It's about connecting with the spirit of Jesus, because he was an avatar and we need to connect with his message. So we start slowing down with the parties and all the rituals. And we became more into the spirituality of Christmas.
That's nice.
But there are years that when we're not together, we always connect with this message of what can we do today to enlighten our spirits and uplift our spirits.
Yeah, that's lovely. I like that.
Are you looking forward to this, or are you?
Yeah.
You are? Oh, yeah. I have done a Christmas without my kids a few years ago, before my mum passed. She wasn't well, and we had a plan to be in London for Christmas with the family in the UK, and obviously I couldn't leave my mum, so the kids went and my hubby went off to London and I stayed here, and I had my first Christmas ever without my children, and actually it was really rather liberating. sorry Leah.
Bless you.
Well, I won't have the stress. I won't have the family dynamics. I won't have to spend a lot of money. So I'm planning a lovely day.
There's pluses. I know somebody who says every year, because she likes to be on her own at Christmas, and every year she says, people keep saying, come round to mine, which is lovely. She said, but I don't want to. She said, I love it. I get up, have my breakfast and my glass of champagne. I make my own little lunch. I watch all the Christmas movies.
You can please yourself.
It's each to their own, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It really is.
And there's so much pressure that comes into this day. You know, we have spent a whole year every month coming in talking about mental health issues. Those mental health issues don't go away
for one day,
but they get magnified because of the pressure of having to fulfill a fantasy of what Christmas is, and that puts us under a huge amount of pressure.
Yeah. Exactly what Deb said is why I found that Christmas all became too much for me. And I had to stop and stand back and say, hang on a second, I'm doing it for everyone else, but this isn't for me. and I'm actually the only person getting stressed and wound up and everything with it is me.
Yeah.
So
it's
why am I
not
doing
really
it?
worth it, is it? I mean, you say for one day, it's a week, I guess, but it's still a lot.
Is exactly what Deb said. We need to release people from the obligation of, especially family. Like this year, I told my daughter, I'm coming for Christmas. And she said, Mom, maybe you should come in March. Because he has her own party, and I said okay, and I'm doing my own Christmas. And I remember like 5 years ago that I didn't have partner. I spent Christmas alone, and I made a ritual, like as you said. I opened my champagne, I lighted a candle, I put a music, and I made my own Christmas close to my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what worries me as well with all the social media we have and the Instagram and everything. People are trying to make it perfect, and there isn't perfection, particularly at Christmas.
I think that's a big part of it for so many people, and they put themselves into financial hock or emotional hock. And you know what? For one day of the year, it's just so not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, really, all anybody wants, unless they're on their own, and trust me, I'm really liking the idea of opening my own bottle of champagne and doing that, is love.
Yes.
Is to be, it's the company. It's not the gifts. It's, okay, we like the food and all the other things, but it isn't about that. It's by being around and being with the people that you want to be with. And that's really what the essence of the day should be about.
So what about, I'm probably going to address this to you, Deb. What about what happens, and this is me, I hate to admit it, and I am admitting it now, but I love Christmas so much. When it comes around to January, I can get the January blues. I really do get quite down. And I don't think it's because the festivities are over, I'm feeling sorry for myself. It's more of a mindset. I can't seem to snap out of this mindset that it's just miserable in January.
Well, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for people that suffer with that, what's a good tip? Don't make such a big thing about Christmas, because then January won't be so bad, or can you give any advice?
Well, it can create a huge loss the other side, can't it? Because there's such a huge amount of momentum, there's energy, there's, we go above and beyond, and then everybody goes back home, and then we're left with the holes that we've already had before, which is our own mental health and our own a reflection on where our life is at the time. And January can be a time for us to make new goals, but it also can be, well, here I am again another year. So it is a mindset thing. One of the things about is how can I turn this into a positive and make goals or plan for the future or look after myself in a new way. January is also, in terms of the light, it is a greyer time of the year. The weather is not as nice. I mean, we're lucky here that we have.
I know
we can have blue.
I actually
blue
find
skies.
February worse than January. Always, I always find February the bluer month of those two.
But
after.
I think you're saying about goals as well. I think what some people do is with the New Year's resolutions, they made them too difficult, and then when they fail, people feel even worse, don't they? So you've made a goal or a New Year's resolution, Marisette, and then maybe, I don't know, stop drinking or whatever. And then you fail at it and you feel like a failure, and then it's 10 times worse. I'm doing dry January, just saying I do it every year, and I will be doing it this year, and I can just about manage it. Yay! But not until January, that is for sure. But that brings us on to SAD syndrome, or seasonal affective disorder. And am I right, Deb, that it's because of the serotonin, not so much sun, particularly in the UK, and that's why people have this?
Yeah, it's a form of depression that's affected by sunlight, and it can be accentuated by underlying emotional mental health issues too that can be brought up because the light is dimmed. And so that can give us low energy, sadness, irritability, not wanting to get up in the mornings, difficulty concentrating, and it can affect quite a lot of us. So if we can get as much light as we can,
get light boxes, can't you?
Yes, very, very, very useful. I have several friends with SAD in the UK, and those that have light boxes really do struggle less than those without. I mean, as Deb said, we're extraordinarily fortunate here, so that even when we do get a series of grey days, we know at some point soon afterwards we're going to see a blue sky again, and there'll be sunshine and warmth, and we will feel that uplift. As I was talking to a young man this morning on the Paseo who is living here at the moment from the UK, I was saying the difference is when you look up here, it's like somebody's taken the roof off, and it feels high and you feel up. When I'm in the UK, even on a reasonably bright day, unless it's absolutely brilliant, I always feel like the sky is low and it's like it's a roof on. Yeah. And that has a very big impact on a lot of people.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I've never been in a country that we don't have so much light, because I'm from Brazil and then I moved to Miami, then I moved here. But sometimes, even in the blue skies, weather, we can wake up with this blues syndrome. So I would highly recommend people to create rituals. As in the morning, put some music that you used to like when you were younger. And I always have my music close to me, because when I have this sensation that I don't want to leave the bed, even though it's sunny outside, I put the music, and the music is a booster for me. Then connect with some spiritual practice. Maybe you can talk to someone that you lost, and maybe make a prayer and do yourself your way of spirituality, and maybe a cold shower.
Really?
Cold shower.
No, I've heard that one before.
Because
very, very effective. Actually,
the body changes when you have the cold shower in the morning. And also aromatherapy, I always have my lavender close to me, and you put. So having this ritual, that things that are easier to do.
Yeah, good advice.
Easier, make it easier.
Very good.
And be very compassionate to yourself. And maybe bring the hands to your heart and say, "Good morning, you're so precious," and be kind to yourself.
I think that's a big thing, is being kind to oneself, no matter whether it's SAD, whether it's being affected by Christmas, no matter what it is. I think we're none of us very good at being kind to ourselves. You have to teach yourself to be like that, because it doesn't always come naturally to everybody, and it's really, really, really important.
I think we also live in such a fast-paced world nowadays that there's no time for yourself, or people don't make time for themselves, or can't for whatever reason. Having said that, I have to make time or I'll get into trouble for an advert break. We will be back on the other side.
The Lifestyle Show, presented by Selina MacKenzie.
This is the Me Nobody Sees. It is 3:25. I am joined by Michelle Mack, Deb Jones and Marisetta Martins. I just want to read something. I just want to say thank you to Sally in the Costa Blanca, who WhatsApped in and said, hear to Eileen's comment. That's Eileen in Cartagena, who said, thank you, ladies, for the year. So we appreciate that. Thank you. So, yes, I have a bit of a readout that I've been asked to read out during the programme. So, as we approach Christmas and New Year, it can be a challenging time for those experiencing difficulties or dissatisfaction with their relationships, whether it's with others or themselves. But fortunately, there are support groups in English for codependency that have been operating in the San Pedro area for almost 30 years. You can go along to the next one, which is happening on Saturday, December the 14th. It's called CODA, and they're holding codependency informative meetings. There'll be 2 meetings, 10 till 11:45 and then 12 till 1:30. It is on the first floor at Julio Romero de Torres 32. I have the full address if anyone wants it. They're saying it's the Estepona end of San Pedro, beachside opposite McDonald's. These meetings are open to anyone with a desire to develop healthy, functional and fulfilling relationships in safe and confidential space. For more information, you can call or WhatsApp 609 511 092. So thank you very much for sending that in.
CODA are exceptional, by the way.
You know them.
I do.
Are they? Good.
They are sort of on the 8 lines of AA and all of those, and they are a network set up specifically for people who are in codependent relationships.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully I'll keep that and find out when the next one is for next time. We would also like you listeners to join in with us, and if you'd like to, here is how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
So, ladies, if we have a roundup, sorry, Marisetta, this doesn't necessarily include you, but if we had a roundup of everything we've discussed this year, well, I don't know, what we've got out of it. Can we get the listeners to tell us what they have got out of this year?
Well, off the top of my head, what we've spoken about, we've done addictions, eating disorders, loneliness, grief, self-care,
self-harm,
relationships, self-harm. Yep, we've covered a lot this year.
We have, haven't we? Maybe we should have something new for next year. If our listeners want to suggest anything, you are very welcome to do so. And, of course, one of the things that we do always talk about and is very important is communication and how to ask for help.
Yes. It's a moment where people tend to go within. First of all, because of the weather, people go inside and they tend to stay there. I would like to invite them now to look outside and try to change their perspective. They are not alone, because we are only alone when we abandon ourselves. And self-care starts from within, like observing the emotions, observing the inner dialogue. What am I talking to myself when I come in front of the mirror? Because sometimes we are alone, but we can still be very gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
And this inner communication will create a different frequency. And then maybe they go to buy a bread or have a coffee and bump into somebody and maybe receive a smile.
Oh, that takes nothing, and it means such a lot.
Yeah, and communication is about you get out of your this self-talk that I'm not good enough. The world is happening, and I'm alone, having like FOMO. And look at outside and how can you contribute to other people? Because when you are in this state of mind that you are feeling so low, maybe you can help your neighbor and just give a good morning. My mom is a good morning person. She enters in the elevator.
I'm not a morning person.
In the lift, is like, good morning. Every place she goes, good morning. How are you?
But that's nice. That's lovely.
And it opens the heart.
Yeah.
Because the world is like it is now, because lack of love. And when you start spreading love, be the first person to communicate with love, maybe you're going to create this ripple effect of love around.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I like that. I like this ripple effect of love. We need a ripple effect of love.
Send love to the world.
I feel like a song coming on now. I feel like a song. Yeah. And also on loneliness that we touched on, especially this time of year, maybe knock on your neighbour's door and, you know, if somebody you know is living alone, do you want anything? Can I get you anything? Would you like a cup of tea? Anything like that. Because I think it's hard enough to if you live alone and you're a lonely person, but at this time of the year when everybody else is celebrating and the television is showing adverts of parties, it must be very, very sad.
Loneliness can feel a burden as well, as though people wouldn't want to have me around, or, you know, I can't invite myself over, or but I'm sure that most people would want to take them in. And
interesting young man I met today, he's here on his own. He'll be here over Christmas and New Year on his own. And he said, oh, I'm really happy. He said, I like my own company and I like being by myself. And I said, that's great. I said, but just so you know that if you get a bit bored and you don't want to be on your own over the holiday period, you know, you can always pick up the phone and call and just come over and have a coffee. And I think it's letting people know that that's okay too. You know, if you want to be on your own, great. But there are always people there that will welcome you.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it is nice to sometimes just touch base with people.
We've had a couple of WhatsApps in. I am having to turn to the left. Somebody said, I will just call myself Catherine. Is anyone else in constant fear about getting fired from their job? I live with this every single day and it's debilitating. I don't know how to stop feeling like this. You know, I've never heard that, but I can understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's a real fear for her, especially if she's living with that every day. When we can feel as though we're not, like we don't belong or...
undervalued,
a lack of trust or honesty within the relationship. You know, if it's a working relationship, there can also be the terror of lack. Is that if we lose our job, then my world will fall apart. I won't be able to pay my bills, and we can get caught up into that fear of what is going to happen if. And unfortunately, if we put energy to things, it can become...
You can make it bigger.
It can sometimes make a reality, but it's how can I turn that round into a positive? Is right now I am safe and secure. Right now I have my job, and learning to trust.
I wonder if, for Catherine, it is just her job, or if she feels like that about lots of other things in her life.
Yeah, I could imagine that if she came to me as a client, there would be something going on underneath that is triggering this. There is some terror going on there that is really hard to let go of and is trying to control the certainty.
My view is that what Deb says is absolutely right, and she's projecting it as the fear of her job is the thing that she's the most worried about.
Yeah. And trying to control that and what is maybe going on in her world that she doesn't feel in control of or doesn't trust the flow of.
That's the trouble. I suppose there's a lot of things that we aren't in control of, like our jobs. It's in somebody else's hands.
I would like to suggest to her to ask a question. Do I really love my job? Because sometimes we are projecting the fear outside, and they don't want me here, maybe, and she goes into fear. But the opposite of fear is love. How much love can she bring to the relationships, and how she sees her job, and how can she change? Because we are energy, and we create what we project in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our emotions. And if she starts, I would like to give a test for her.
I hope you're listening, Catherine. Listen closely.
Catherine, get a paper and write down a love letter to your job. And say, hey, maybe I'm thinking, it's like a relationship. When you have a boyfriend and you always think like, oh, he's gonna leave me. And then the guy starts feeling, that's the frequency that you are emanating, you're projecting the world. So write a letter, a love letter, say, thank you very much for providing for me. I love to go there, and bring some love to your job. Then you're gonna see that you're gonna perceive that the fear is gonna diminish.
It's like, I mean, people say about manifesting positive things, don't they? It sounds like Catherine could be manifesting negative things.
It must be very hard, though, for her to get up every day to go in to do a job where she's feeling so terrified as well. So that's also not a good place to be in for her. So I think that's also, I think the advice that both of the guys here have given is really important.
And also that's going to add added pressure, because even if she's not feeling well, she probably feels pressure to go in because she's frightened of losing a job.
So it could also be triggering something. I'm going to take a risk by saying this here, but Catherine, at some point in your life, has something ended very suddenly without you knowing.
Right.
And so now you are trying to preempt the inevitable, or what you think might be the inevitable. There could be some trauma that's coming up here that is feeling like it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Catherine, feel free to message again. I'll keep a lookout, and I will give the ladies' details out at the end of the programme as well, in case you want to chat more. Second one that's come through is... Anonymous, please don't say my name, no problem. I cannot move on from my divorce. I think we touched on this earlier. This is the first Christmas the family won't be all together, and I'm not sure how I will cope. I can't imagine how awful that must be, really.
I imagine that it's very soon. It's still very raw.
Sounds like
and in those early days and those firsts, it is very difficult. There is the cliche, time heals and time will heal, but there's a process of grieving, and it sounds like you're really still in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Be gentle on yourself right
Yes,
now.
I was going to say, be gentle on yourself. Make Christmas what you would want it to be this year would be my advice. Make it all the things that you want to have that you weren't able to have or do when you were in your marriage or whatever. And just be very kind to yourself. It will be tough this first year. I have no idea how old the children are, so it doesn't say. But, just be kind. I'm sure that the kids will call you. Fortunately, we have video calls these days and everybody can connect at some point. But it will be tough.
Yeah, especially if it is still raw. Any advice, Marisetta?
Yeah, I've been there twice because I've been married twice, and I know what it is. And the most important thing is to embrace the moment, because there is a grief there, and we cannot make Christmas more important than this, and embrace himself. Like literally embrace, like cocoon yourself, and be very kind in this moment. If you needed to cry, let the emotions come out, and don't try to force yourself in any situation, because as Debbie said, there are lots of fantasies of this moment.
Yes. The TV,
Disneyland,
the adverts. Yeah.
Make sure you've got a very large box of chocolates in.
Yeah, and a large bottle of wine.
Yes.
But it is like you said. It's grieving. It's a bereavement. A divorce is like a death. It's a death of what has been, what could have been. It's awful.
I think particularly when there are children involved, specifically at Christmas, because obviously Christmas predominantly is about the children, and I think that is why it will make it so much tougher.
Yeah. Well, anonymous person, we are thinking of you. Actually, we're all assuming it's a woman. Anonymous.
It may not be.
I cannot move on from my divorce. This is not yet. Yeah, we don't actually know whether it's a woman or a man, but whoever you are, we're thinking of you, and we'll give all the details out afterwards as well. The third one and the last one for now is, again, please say I'm anonymous. I have mixed emotions which I have experienced most of my life. I find it difficult to socialise because I fear being judged by society. Any advice, Debs?
Well, that's quite underpinned by isolation, is the fear of judgment. We all judge ourselves for one reason or another. We all have an internal dialogue. But when it can get out of control and stop you from living your life, then maybe it's finding an opportunity to talk to somebody about it, to understand where that judgment comes from. It sounds like maybe it's just, this person may have had experiences where they've been judged or judged others, as we do.
Also, I think with, if you've got very high standards for yourself, if you're a perfectionist, you feel like you're being judged all the time, and actually you're putting it, again, it's the projection of what others are thinking of you rather than how they are thinking of you. I spent a lot of time being very concerned about this when I was really poorly. And it is really tough, particularly when you are very hard on yourself, which 90% of the time somebody in this position is, because you're judgmental on yourself, you expect everybody else is judgmental. And actually, a lot of this comes with age and experience and life, but nobody's really judging you. You're your own worst critic.
And I think, again, at this time of the year, there is pressure to socialise. Some people don't like socialising, and why should they if they don't want to? But at this time of the year, everyone's like, come out, come to the Christmas party, do this. It's unfair on people that don't want to do it.
I think the other thing as well with that is you just have to be extraordinarily you have to set boundaries and make people aware of how these things affect you. And don't be afraid to say no, because actually it's very empowering, and people won't mind. People are very understanding. I think we are very afraid to say no because we think that if we say no to something, people won't like us, they won't invite us again. They have all of these connotations. And actually, people are very understanding when it comes to this sort of thing.
I think so too. We need to take another advert break. We've still got 2 to get in. We will be back after these messages.
The Lifestyle Show, presented by Selina MacKenzie.
We are in the last quarter of an hour of the Me Nobody Sees, and I just want to mention one more time what Soho Market are doing on Sunday. I'm gutted. I'm going out for lunch and I can't go, and I really, really want to go. If you're down this end of the coast, go to Soho Market at Guadalmina. By doing so, not only will you have a great time, but you can support local businesses as well. So they're having a festive Christmas market. It is the perfect location for your Christmas shopping. There's a jeweller's, there's a flower shop, fashion, crafts, beauty and more. There'll be mulled wine, there'll be an expert Serrano ham cutter and live music. It is Michael Bublé. Pete Rothwell is Michael Bublé. We like him.
Oh, a bit of bubbly Christmas.
Bit of bubbly Christmas. So get yourselves down there. It starts at 12.
Look like Christmas.
I really was not expecting that. That's brilliant.
She's been quiet for 2 hours when she sings. Thank you, Deb. Now I know where your son gets it from. His son's an amazing singer. Anyway, I'll get back to my live read. So it starts at 12 and finishes at 7. So I might be able to pop.
I will be popping in at some point.
Yes, you can
it's
walk
on my doorstep,
from your house.
Me too.
So that's that. Right, before we go any further, I want to hear from you, Marizetta. Can you explain to our listeners what you do?
I am a life coach, and my focus is on communication because my background is in journalism and self-development as well. I help women, mostly women, to come out of this hiding place that we somewhere in our lives we learn that we need to shrink, to hide, and not to step out this cave of self-talk that, I'm not good enough. So for them to bring their voice to the world and bring their message and step out as the main character of their lives.
Wonderful. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, do you have a website? Or?
Yes, I have a website, Marizette with double T, martins.com. But I work a lot on Instagram. My Instagram is the same, at Marizette with double T, Martins, Marizette, no Deut.
Just Erin Marizette Martins.
Martins, yeah.
Excellent. And I always say, if you're driving or you haven't got a pen, don't crash your car, don't worry. I've got the details. Just ask me if you didn't get all that. Deb, counsellor extraordinaire and singer. How can people get hold of you?
For two routes, actually. My website is www.theenglishtherapist.com, where I offer therapy to be able to understand the negative patterns in your life, whatever is troubling with you. And also, I work subconsciously as well, so I can find ways to be able to go into your subconscious to change those patterns. So you can get in touch with me on that website, but I also am a podcaster, and I have a podcast called The Relationship Edit. So if you're really bored at Christmas and you want to listen to my dulcet tones, you can find me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Very good. I've had a listen.
Anything to do with relationships.
Perfect. Leah? I got you. See, she's looking down at her phone. I fooled you. She was panicked then. She was shocked. Can you give us some helplines out, please?
I can. I'm going to give you 2 today. So I'm going to give you Age Concern Spain, their main advice number, which is, if I can find it, there we go, is 971 2315 20. And then the number for... Oh, where are we gone? Sorry, Sam Spain. So Samaritan Spain is, when it's come back to me, here we go. So Sam Spain is 900 525 100. Now, Sam Spain also has a low-cost UK number, which is available after 10 p.m. and across weekends. So if people can't get through on the Spanish number, they can try the international overseas number for the UK.
Excellent. And CODA, I'm guessing if people put CODA into their search engines,
it will come up.
Because that also sounds like a good one. I might try and get them on another show. Right, before we do our goodbyes, we've got one more advert break to take. We will be right back.
You're listening to Talk Radio Europe.
Fancy 2 months free car insurance? Or how about paying 10 months instead of 12? And what would you say to 16.6666667% off? Hey?
Whatever way you look at it, this summer, your first miles are on us. Because Linea Directa is giving away 2 months free car insurance on every new policy. Take out car insurance today by calling 919-181-130. Conditions apply.
Hello, dear. Just calling to wish you a happy birthday. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Actually, I've never been better. You know, I've moved to CK La Quinta Senior Residency. Oh, didn't I tell you? It's wonderful here. They look after me so well. I have physio 5 times a week. There's a full medical team on site, which is a blessing. The food is fabulous and designed just for me. You know, I need to keep an eye on my cholesterol. I have made so many new friends, and the gardens are a joy. You must come and visit. CK La Quinta San Pedro de Alcantara for permanent and temporary stays and a top-class level of care for peace of mind. Telephone 951 550 100 cklaquinta.com.
Celebrate New Year's Eve like never before at the iconic Puente Romano Beach Resort. Join us for an unforgettable evening with world-class dining at Sea Grill, Chiringuito, Cipriani, Gaia, Nobu, Koya and Gala Puente Romano, where every bite is a celebration of flavour. And the fun doesn't stop there. Experience the magic of the night with a spectacular party in the plaza and exclusive experiences at Chanka by Koya and Nix. Start the year with style, luxury and an unforgettable atmosphere at Puente Romano Beach Resort, where every moment sparkles. For reservations, call 682 11 22 33. Don't miss out on the ultimate New Year's celebration.
Want the best rates and peace of mind when sending money abroad? Lumon, your trusted currency partner, can help with quick, effortless and secure international payments. Whether you're buying or selling a property, transferring your pension from the UK to Spain, or simply paying your monthly bills, Lumon is here to help. At Lumon, protecting your money is our highest priority. So every single transaction you make with us is safeguarded. Visit lumonpay.com to learn more about how we look after our customers and to save money on your international payments. Terms and conditions apply. Lumon FX Europe Limited, trading as Lumon, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
TRE.
The Lifestyle Show.
Selina MacKenzie.
That is almost it for me for today and for this week's Lifestyles. No Hannah today. She's away, so we've got the best of the TRE in the afternoon. I'll be back with your Sunday selection on Sunday. Now, it is a normal one this Sunday, but the following Sunday we have this. On 22nd of December, we will be doing a very special Your Sunday selection. We're calling it Christmas Cards from Around the World, where you can send a virtual Christmas message over the airwaves. We're giving you plenty of time, as it will be for sure a busy show. So simply email me, Selina, at tre.radio, and your message and accompanying song will be played on that Sunday. Christmas Cards from Around the World on Your Sunday selection, 11 till 1, 22nd of December.
Your Sunday selection is brought to you by Iberian Tax. Need help with your non-resident property tax returns? Iberian Tax are here to help. Sign up for your free account today at iberiantax.com.
And I will, of course, be back with the Lifestyle Show on Monday. We'll be talking to Harry H. Moody in the first hour about climate change, and in the second hour to Tony Bergins about embody, feel, heal and transform your life through movement. This is the last of Me Nobody Sees for this year. Thank you very much, Deb Jones.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas,
Michelle Mack, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Feliz Navidad.
Thank you very much for having me.
Marisetta Martins, thank you very much. And remember, there were always good times ahead.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.